Joanna,
Hello, hello. Hey, how are you?
hello. Good. Happy Thursday. How are you doing?
Mm, so good. Good, good, good.
Awesome. Happy to hear it. And I see you got your coffee there. How's the coffee business treating you?
Uh, it's a tea. I
Okay.
want to drink coffee. I will drink after because I took an ice bath, so have to warm my body a little bit.
Of
Yeah,
course. Of course. Of course. I mean, that's something you've been sticking with, though. All right. It's been a while since we caught up, but I remember you were saying that you were
yeah,
doing the coffee thing.
yeah. I do. I'm coffee junkie. I'm coffee addicted. So yeah, definitely all the time. Yeah.
So I'm not a coffee person, Joanna, but if you were to sell me on coffee, what's the best way to do it? Why should I drink coffee?
um, because of the flavor, I love the taste of the coffee, and it wakes me up. It's not only about the energy you can get from coffee, but I just love it, man. I love to smell morning coffee, and I love to taste it. I
All
just
right.
love it.
All right. So is there a specific one? Like I know there's lattes. I don't know what the differences are too
No,
much, but like
I do black coffee, no
okay.
cream, no sugar, no milk. Sometimes I like to drink almond milk or coconut milk latte or flat white, but no, the black is the best. And coffee from Peru is actually very good, one of my favorite.
All
Yeah.
right, all right. Good to know. You're convincing me a little bit. I might have to give it a try.
You
So
should try. You should try at least a cappuccino, okay?
yes,
Then
okay.
we will get to black coffee
Yeah, we'll
place
slowly work our
as
way,
it is.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's great getting to catch up with you again, Joanna. I mean, you seem so happy these days. I know that you've kind of reached that point where, just living your best life, right? And,
Yeah.
for you, like, I'm curious, when did that kind of set in, that point of, I finally achieved all these things I want to do. I'm still doing things I want to do. Like, when did it kick in for you? Like, all right, I made it to this point that I want to be at.
It was always like this, but there was tons of pressure. I used to say that there was no pressure on me when I was the champ, but I realized this after I lost the belt that there was tons of pressure, from every side. But I was always like this. I was always very grateful and thankful for who I am, what I have, what I approach in my life. But I love the balance in my life, and I know I can't be responsible for another people for their actions. So I just take every day as it is, and I'm trying to adapt to the life changes every single day, and I'm just more happy, and I do things I want to do. I was always the person who used to not listen to people, like I mean the good way, like when they were trying to, hate on me or tell me that this is not for me. I was always the person who was doing own things, own stuff, and I'm very happy that I continue doing this. Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously made it work out pretty well for yourself. And um, it's funny, I asked you about this like a couple of years ago, Joanna, but are people still mentioning Kate Yup to you? Are you getting messages about her? Because she's disappeared. I don't know if you've kept up with that, but Kate Yup is gone. Do you still get asked about her?
all the time. There are moments that people go really crazy, and but yeah, once in a while I get this message. Am I Kate up or not? Maybe she's gone from, she's too busy preparing for her next fight, so that's why she's not on YouTube. Let me guess. Man, this is crazy.
Yes,
But
very much so. I'm sure it's a little fun though, right? I mean,
she will be back after June 12th.
there we go. I'll have to wait to
Yeah,
indulge Kate
yeah,
will.
yeah,
But oh my goodness. But Joanna, I mean, so many great moments in your career. Obviously, you've been the champion,
yeah,
many, many great wins. But I was thinking about it, like it's a unique thing for fighters to even achieve that point, right? And for you, before
yeah,
you got into MMA, you had a whole background in Muay Thai and kickboxing
yeah,
behind you. So like I'm curious, when you compare the moment of your MMA debut to when you had your title fight against Carlos Esparza,
yeah.
like how did the nerves compare? Like, were you more nervous for your MMA debut or before your first UFC title fight? How did those two weigh against each other?
Honestly, same thing. I think I'm not nervous, but somehow I am nervous. But I'm enjoying this process. The hard work is so many weeks before, and some of the athletes, they we all are different, and we manage our camps totally different way. I have to work my ass so hard every single day, and I always get to the point where I hit the wall, and I'm like, okay, I think I can't do more, but it makes me feel very confident. I'm very confident because of the amount of work I'm putting in every single day. But some of the athletes, when they feel tired, they just stop, they just take a break. I'm not this person, and I take a small break when I hit the wall. But the fight is a pleasure. That's the moment when everything is done, the hard work is done, and you actually can go test yourself. And after that, you can enjoy your life, be back to your daily routine outside the gym, outside the camp, and out after the fight. I'm waiting for this one because I can be focused on my on other hobbies, on my businesses, and life in general. Because it takes time. Preparation takes time, lots of effort, lots of sacrificing, and but yeah, I'm loving it. I'm loving it, and I don't know. I am nervous, but somehow I'm enjoying the process every single second, like preparation, or when it's the day of the fight, I'm enjoying the morning breakfast, the nap, and the walk to the arena, to the octagon. Like everything is so amazing, and it's like we don't do this so often, so it's like special moment in our lives.
Yeah, just enjoying those experiences, right? And kind of
Yes.
soaking it up. So very cool indeed. And I mean, it's always very interesting, Joanna. I think, clearly people look at you as, one of the best strikers of all time in MMA. It's very obvious. But, when you look at like your career early on and still now, like your takedown defense is something that is phenomenal. Like you don't get taken down very easily, if at all. So like for a striker, that's very impressive, right? So when you started out, like how did you get such good takedown defense, early on in your career as a striker? Was that something you really honed in on when you got into MMA?
Oh yeah, it was my goal, because I was a striker. I know that I knew that time that there were so many girls hunting on me. They were good grapplers, jiu-jitsu or fighters or wrestlers. So what I had, it were my hands, my striking, my kicks, and I had to learn the takedown defense. And from the first UFC fight, I was facing great jiu-jitsu fighters. It was Adriana Lima, I think it was. No, not that.
Juliana Lima. Adriana's the
Hi,
model.
Adriana. I love you. Yeah, I love you. And I'm happy for your baby. And Juliana Lima, I miss Adriana Lima. I miss too much, few times. And yeah, Juliana Lima. After that was Claudia Gadeja, Carla Esparza. So we put in so much work into the wrestling takedown defense, and I'm still practicing, and I love it. I love the game, and I love people to take me on the cage, on the fence, and I like to fight them. Very often coaches are like, no, escape, but that's the spot to be for me. I love it, and I know I can wrestle with them. And yeah, that's a good thing. But definitely for this upcoming fight, I'm back to my roots. I will use my kicks, my combinations more. This is what made me so successful back in the day in Muay Thai and MMA as well. So definitely I will use my old weapons more often, because I know how good is my ground game as well. So I do not have to worry to be taken down as I used to be in the beginning of my fighting career. So I feel like after so many years, I'm complete MMA fighter, not only a striker anymore.
Yeah, and I mean it's showing. So I mean, with all that in mind, Joanna, like, are you expecting Weili to try and take you down more in the rematch? Because she tried like once or twice, very briefly in the first fight, right? Kind of at the ends of, I think, like the second round and maybe the fourth, but she didn't really go for it as much, and she's been wrestling a lot since you guys last fought. So is that something you're thinking she'll try?
Like Mikey Brown told me this, that for most of the time which we spend in the clinching or doing wrestling, or me and Weili Zhang in our first fight, I was winning. So I don't know. She might, after her last fight with Rose Namajunas, she took her down, I think 2 or 3 times. Yeah. But I don't know. I know that it's going to be a hell of a battle again. Hell of a war. So yeah, I'm focused on so many things, but we'll see. We'll see. I know what I'm working on. I don't know what she's working on, but yeah, let's see.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. That's for sure. So, but she's in an interesting spot. One that you've been in yourself before. As someone who was just the champion, and funny enough, 2 losses in a row to Rose Namajunas as well. Like, she's received a lot of criticism, right? Of like, oh, maybe she wasn't meant to be champion. Fans will say what they want to say, all these things. She wasn't as good as yada yada.
Me or
Weili, saying it about Weili, but I mean, it was a spot that you were in too.
No. We can. Yeah, I know people. People for them it seems so easy, but it's not easy to get to the point. There's so many upcoming prospects, but when they hit this top 5, top 3, there's no prospect anymore. Only special people make it to the league, and when you becoming the challenger, the pretender for the UFC strawweight belt, especially like in every other organization, but it means a lot, and some of the people, they don't win the belt, but they put on hell of a fight with the champions. They go back and forth, and the decision usually it's very often it's a split decision, so they just prove that they're on this championship level, but sometimes you just don't make it because you have to do a little bit more to beat the champ. And I think that Weili Zhang was meant to be the champ, and she, that time when she won the belt from Andreas, she was the right person in the right spot in the right timing to do it, and she did that, and she's still here at the top. Of course, she lost via knockout. We had very close fight. She lost via knockout to Rose Namajunas, but the second fight was so close, and she's improving that she's right there at the top. And that's the craziest thing about this sport. You don't take second place, and you are the loser for so many people. But if you make it, and especially when you put on fights like me and Weili, me and Rose second fight, or Rose Weili Zhang second fight, that's hell of a fight, and that's the saddest thing, because when people look at my picture after my first fight with Weili Zhang, without watching the fight, they're like, oh, again, you're gonna get your ass beat up. I'm like, dude, I think you're missing something, did you watch the fight? And so very often they do not watch the fight, and they don't know much about the sport. They see this loss in your ranking, in your balance record, and they think you are the loser. You are not the loser, especially in this sport. It's such a difficult sport, but I think Weili Zhang is right there at the top.
Yeah, certainly very, very well put. So
I started my second interview three minutes ago, so I think we have one question.
Okay, all right.
Because I have 4 of them in 4 of them, one after each other.
All right. Well, we'll wrap it up then, Joanna. Last thing I will leave you with, I mean, what happened to the low stare? When you used to do the thing where you would get down below people and do the stare down, you stopped doing that. What happened to it?
I might do this. It depends. Very often I get messages like that my face-off was too hard, too aggressive, too weak. What does it mean? I follow my emotions, I control my emotions, but I follow them. It depends how it always depends on how my opponents react. And we will see how it's going to be this time.
All right, there we go. Nice little teaser there. So, okay, Joanna, I'll let you get on with it. Sorry for keeping you a little bit longer, but always great getting to catch up.
Always good to talk to you. Thank you so much. So, guys, I know big UFC event around the corner, UFC 274. Great fights. Watching the fight live on Millions, but make sure you're gonna watch my fight at the UFC 275. See you
Yes, Singapore. All right. So
then. Yeah, it is.
have a good trip, Joanna, and enjoy the rest of your day. All right. It's
Thank you.
always
I
great getting to
appreciate
catch
you.
up. Yes.
Bye.
Take care.